In preparation for planting this tree, the homeowner John and his wife Meg decided that they wanted to get rid of this old well. It had no purpose anymore, and it will lead to a much cleaner looking area where they're going to plant the tree. Thanks very much to M&S Excavation and Septic who handled this.
So we're putting a river birch in. Today we're putting one in rather than taking them down. It's always nice to put them up for the future. We actually ran into, I don't know, the leach field's way over there. There was an old well here, but he's hooked up to water. But we ran into this plastic, I don't know if any of the paper's still around, this plastic, oh, here's some, this stuff. And then there was crushed stone under it. So that's usually like a leach field type stuff, but this is uphill from the system by the well. So I don't know if there was an old, maybe a dry well from the washer or something, but to his knowledge, there's nothing in there. But anyway, we're just about at the depth we got to go. And usually when you plant a tree, you know, I mean, you really want to get the height of the top of it right. You can't have it too deep because it'll smother it, and if it's too high up, the ball will dry out. So getting that perfect is key, and going a little wider with the hole is always good because the roots want to go out. And also this burlap, it's coming off. We're taking it completely off, and I can't tell you how many dead trees I removed that were planted 5 or 6 years ago. And I start grinding the stump, and then I start hitting wire and stuff like this because the roots will girdle. They'll just grow in a ball and they'll keep going and it'll choke itself to death, basically, is what happens. So all of this is coming off. We're going to try to break that up a little bit and get the roots to want to go out. So those are the most important things, is depth that it gets planted. It's got to be the right spot, and the roots have to go out, and all this crap has to come off. You can actually see this plastic here, dude. We got to make sure the depth is correct, is because we're not going to be strong enough to pull that out of here without a machine. Yeah, this looks like good soil. We had a little caving in from the sides because it's stone and it's not like locked in. So I just wanted to pack some up in there. So,
want me to cut this off?
Yeah, get that ready. This side may end up being a little high, and in that case, we'll just pack soil around it and just bring it out some, that's all. Yeah, let me see how we're gonna do whatever it takes to get it off.
It's really under there.
Yep, and get it out. Let's try to roll it a little more. We'll go this way.
This way.
Beautiful. Look at that. All right, let's come this way. We gotta try to, you see this root here? Mm-hmm. We have to try to pull some this way. It's not gonna be that easy. Yeah, we're gonna try to attempt, this has been sitting in the root ball in the burlap all balled up like this for probably a couple years. So we're gonna attempt to straighten some of these out, get some of these going away so they don't just keep growing and the thing chokes itself to death. The fresher dug you can get them, the better off. But we're gonna do our best with what we got. I would like to straighten them out. I'm trying to break as little as possible, but it's okay to cut some and to break some to get them out. But you know, if they stay balled up like that, for sure it's doomed, you know. If we try doing this in the summer, like when it's dry, this thing will be like concrete. See, there's another piece that goes in. She's just girdled up, you know. John, we're gonna lift a little bit and we're gonna walk that way and just kind of spin it. Ready? Spin. All right. Let's just look at it from a distance. If we're going to take a fourth lead out of this, it should be one of these two guys because they're like the closest. They're all bunched up together. These are already spreading a little bit. So I'm probably leaning more toward this guy.
Do we have to, or is it?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You definitely don't have to.
Or is it kind of
She
like
said the guy from Acers recommended that she may want to do that. So.
I mean, is it like do it, or is it like a wait a couple years and see how it starts growing kind of thing?
We could do it. The longer we wait, it's going to be harder to make this cut without scarring
Gotcha.
another trunk.
Whatever you think.
But I know that the more clusters you have, the more leads, the more chance of failure, you know, of one peeling off down the road. You're talking a long ways down the road, but.
Whatever you think's best.
Well, let's clean the area up before we do that. They want infrequent, deep soakings. It's way different than watering a lawn. Lawn grass wants a lot of water, twice a day or whatever. A tree, you want to saturate the root ball and then let it dry out. Give it 2 or 3 days, let it dry out, saturate it again. So if it's raining twice a week, just water it like once a week or something like that, you know. And if it's raining, 2, 3, 4 days a week, don't water it, unless they're just little sprinkles. So you want to soak it, but then if you don't let it dry out, then you'll start getting fungus. So that's another whole issue.
Okay.
And naturally, you pretty much find these a lot of times on slopes where there's good drainage. We'll fill sides in, and the yard right here was low, so we're high. So we're just going to add material here instead of trying to, because if we try to match the height of that to the grade of the yard, the thing's going to be on an angle. Yep. And they're going to be leaning. So we'll just raise the material out here. Okay. And then that's, once it's done, that's kind of an invasive way to do it because it like undermines the, so maybe just get a soaker hose, wrap it around and just pin it down and just plug the thing in.
Okay.
And you leave it for, like an hour.
Okay.
Leave it on, just run the hose out, screw it in. Turn it on, give it an hour, 2, 3 times a week. The best time to water the tree is late at night, once the dew settles in the summer, if you're talking about in the summertime. A lot of people like to do it in the morning, but as soon as the sun comes up, it's drying it out. So we're cutting one lead off. The more leads in there, the more chance of a failure down the road once they get big. And we were looking at these two because they're the closest together. So, and this particular one has a root that was cut off, when they dug the thing, like a big root that was cut off. So we chose this one, and then that'll leave the 3 most spaced out leads. So he's gonna spread these out for me. So I do try my best not to cut that other lead. Pull that guy right out. All right, she's in. She's good and sturdy. So the key things to do and to know to do is make sure you do the hole wider than the root ball because you need soft soil and room for it to go. Also use good quality soil, and the depth is a huge thing. If it's way up too high, it's going to dry out. If it's too deep, it's going to be smothered basically. So those are your crucial factors. This one had a lot going on with the 4 leads, so we took one. I feel like it'll last longer this way. There was a lot of little branches down in here and I cut a bunch off. This one's gonna come off down the road. I just don't want to hammer it too hard because the root ball was kind of dried out, and I just want to give it a good chance for a while. The nursery that he bought the tree from already took some off the top, which was a good thing. So we'll give it a year and we'll come back and prune it and get rid of some more of these shoots. For now, we're just going to let the thing grow and see how it goes.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah, yep, you're welcome.